Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be learning how to make this beautiful waistcoat, or you call it a vest. So first I'm going to mark 1 inches down with my pattern paper. We're going to be using a pattern first before using the main fabric. Then I'm going to mark this line as my shoulder point. Okay, so now I am going to mark my button allowance, which is 1.5. I'll go in by 1.5 as my button allowance. So now we have it. We are going to be putting down our basic bodice points. So I'll be marking my bust point at 10 inches and my waist point at 16 inches, and I will extend the lines so that we'll have a straight line. So next I'm going to line it up like so. Next I'm going to go in by 3 inches as my neck width and down 4 inches as my neck depth. I'm going to connect it together. Next thing to do is to divide my shoulder by 2. What I have is 8 inches. Then I added half inch allowance, making it 8.5. Then come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So my armhole point, to determine my armhole point, I'm going to divide my bust point by 6 plus 1.5 inches allowance. So I'm going to divide my bust point by 6 plus 1.5 inch allowance. I have 7.5, but I'm going to make it 8 inches. So I'm going to mark it. So that's my armhole point, or my chest point. I extended the lines. Because we are making a sleeveless, I'm going to go in by 4 inches, or you mark 2 inches in whatever is your shoulder. Then at the center of your armhole point, you go in by 1.5 inches. Then divide your bust point by 4. Then mark it down plus 1.5 inches allowance. I added allowance 1.5 inches allowance on mine. Then curve it. I'm going to come down from my underarm, my armhole. I'm going to come down by half an inch. Then mark it down because it's a sleeveless. We need allowance. So this is my new armhole line. Then on the down part, I'm going to come down by 7 inches, sorry. I wanted it to go down a bit, so I went down by 7 inches from my waistline, and that is my armhole, where my curve is going to start from. That's the full length of my front bodice. So this is my waist, my bust, my armhole, and my shoulder. These are the points that I will be needing. From my waist, I'm going to come down by 2 inches for the point that we are going to be using to curve it, because I don't want it to go directly on the waist. So now I'm going to divide my waist circumference by 4 plus 1.5 inches allowance. Emphasize on allowance, okay, because we are still going to put that. We're still going to add that. So now I extended the lines to the extra line that I marked on the waist. Now I'm going to go in by 2 inches on the full length and connect it to the second line that I marked on the waist. So that is how I want my curve to be. That is the curve of the vest. Connect the lines together, and this is what we have. For my front neck depth, I'm going to come down by 9.5 inches. Then that's where my button is going to start from. Then on the waist, that second line on the waist, after the waist, the 2 inches that we came down by, that's where my button is going to stop. Okay, so we have 18 inches. My button is going to stop at 18. So I'm going to go in by half an inch. I don't need extra allowance. We have 1 inch as the button allowance. Then connect it from that line down to the full length, like so. Then connect my front neck depth like so. As you can see, the vest is now coming out. So the next thing we're going to do is to mark our dart. I'm going to place my tape starting from the button line. I'm going to mark 4 inches in on the bust and on the waist point. Mark it straight ahead all the way down to the full length of the vest. Now I'm on the waistline. I came down by 1 inch from the bust line, and on the waistline I went in by half inch and I came out by half inch, and I connected it like so. So now the next thing I am going to do is to go down by 1 inch for my back neck depth, because this is our front and back pattern. Come down 1 inches as our back neck depth. Now this is the back and this is the front. We are going to fold in the button allowance for the back. We are going to start cutting the back first. So I am going to cut out the back neck line. I'm not going to cut out everything. I'm just trying to show you guys how I am going to cut it out. I'm going to cut the remaining ones. So on the waist, you're going to fold it, the second waist that I marked, fold it in like so. Okay, fold it in like that. We are going to create our back armhole point. So we went out by 1/2 inch for our back armhole point, and this is how I have to cut it out. We are cutting the back piece first. We did not go use the armhole point of the front line. We created another armhole point for the back, which is 1/2 inch extension. Now I have to bring my material. This is the material that I'm going to use for this particular video, and this is me cutting out the back piece first. I added 1/2 inch at the shoulder for the joining. I now cut out my lining, and I have to cut out the front piece S6 paper. This is me creating my button allowance, my button hole on the pattern paper. So I'm done cutting out the front piece. This is what it looks like. Now we are going to cut out our dart. It's very simple using the pattern paper to cut my dart. Okay, if you like, you use your material to create your dart. So because we don't have a dart for the back, this is how I'm going to cut the back dart. From the center of the back, I came down by 10 inches for that's where my dart is going to stop. Then went in by 4 inches as my back dart, my nipple to nipple divide by 2. Then went in by 1/2 inch, and then connect it to the down like so. You already know how to create a dart, so you know what I did there. So this is my back dart. I have to cut it on the lining also. So now it's time to start joining. Okay, this is what we have. This is our 2 pattern piece. So I am done joining the darts, as you can see, and I went to iron it. So this is how I'm going to join the 2 sides, the sides of the lining and the main piece. I am going to join the shoulders, the armhole. I'm not joining the shoulder. The shoulder is the only one that is going to be open, the only thing that is going to be open. I'm going to join all the sides except the shoulder, but every other thing is going to be joined together. Then I will iron it down and show you guys what it looks like after joining. Okay, I'm trying to pin down everything. So this is how I'm going to join like this, and leave the shoulder. The shoulder is the only thing that is going to be open. That's the same thing I did for the back. As you can see, the shoulder is open. Here I am done joining everything and ironing it down, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to close the shoulder. I'm going to join the 2 shoulders together. By doing so, I'm going to open one side of the back piece, so we can join the shoulder, because the shoulder is the only thing that is open on this vest. Now I have to put down my shoulder on the back shoulder like so. Just watch very carefully how I'm doing it. So I'm going to bring it out like this, put it inside the front vest, the front piece. I will join it with the back piece at the center of the back piece. Okay, and use my pin to hold it, and then use 1/2 inch to sew. I'll do the same for the other side. I'll use my back piece, bring in the front one, just as I'm doing in the video. Then make sure they are equal. Then use my pin to hold it. And then use 1/2 inch to sew. So now I am done joining, and this is what you look. I closed the place that I opened with my razor, so I've closed it. So the next thing to do here is to add my zipper, because there is no time for buying of button and buttonhole and all of that. Okay, so we're going to be using a zip for this particular video. Okay, so if you would like, you put zip on your own. If you like, you put a buttonhole on your own. I added zip on my own. So now I am going to join the zip like so. I'm going to join it like so, and I will join the other side also like so. And then for the joining of the two sides, I'm going to join with 1/2 inch or 1 inch depending on, but I used 1/2 inch to join my two sides because the zip is not an open zip. So now I am done joining. This is what it looks like. It's very simple to sew. This is the easiest way to sew your vest or your waistcoat. So if this is your first time joining my channel, click the subscribe button, like, share and comment on my videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. I still remain your number one. The way this top is so beautiful on me, hey, so it was so beautiful. It's so cheeky, so classy, so